Hello, hello.
Hey.
Oh my god. Did I catch you off guard?
As usual.
That's fair. How are you, James?
I'm good. Hanging with my kitten.
Love it.
My fat baby.
I was gonna say he's not small like a kitten.
Yes, he is.
Okay, well.
He's little.
Oh, he's very large. He's quite overweight.
16 pounds. He lost weight.
Okay, he's still overweight.
How are you?
I'm good. I am...
Little sleepy, but...
I am incredibly sleepy.
You got the coffee.
I'm doing relatively good. Thank you for pointing that out. As I was about to say, I'm doing relatively good on my no caffeine thing. This is the first coffee I've had in weeks.
In a while. Yeah.
So, I'll give myself a little bit of credit there. We just got back from a very exciting adventure, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Jamie and I just got back from 9-10 days in a very special place called New Orleans. And it was absolutely fantastic. We had such a good time.
And in honor of our trip, we essentially are dedicating the whole month of August to, stuff involving Louisiana, involving New Orleans.
But yeah, so I think all of that excitement, we knew we wanted to do a New Orleans-ish episode or theme before because there's obviously so much to talk about, even if you think of, the stereotypical New Orleans. But I think after being there and seeing everything firsthand and experiencing some of the stuff that we did, this is definitely what we want to talk about for a long time. So at least, like Jamie said, for the month of August, we're dedicating August to our adventures in New Orleans. And that means we're starting off with probably the strongest point for anybody who thinks about New Orleans. We're jumping right into Voodoo. I'm Kate.
And I'm Jane, and this is Creeps and Coffee,
A show where we talk about the dark parts of the world around us.
Cryptids, conspiracies, things that go bump in the night.
And the crimes behind the scariest creatures of all, humans.
Join us as we take a look at the stories sure to give you the creeps.
Pull up a seat, grab a coffee,
and let's have a chat.
First of all, before we even start anything, I think it's really important to note that there are many variations of voodoo traditions. Voodoo itself is an Afro-Haitian religion that originated in Haiti by way of Benin, although it can be found in Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, the United States, and a lot of other parts of the world. The voodoo that many people think of as a result of media representation, the stereotypes and what we see, comes from Louisiana. And the mix of voodoo Catholicism that became so heavily practiced through the mixing of cultures in the area over the years. It's this type of voodoo, this specific voodoo Catholicism blend, that we will be primarily discussing because that's what was taught to us. That's the voodoo practitioners that we spoke to, the temples that we went to, the sources that we read on the sites were from New Orleans. So naturally, that's what we know. But we wanted to make sure it was known that not all aspects of voodoo are practiced this way. There's slight variations, super common to see in this and many other religions across the world. It's in the same way that we have Catholicism and Christianity and Protestantism. They all fall under the same umbrella of Catholic, but they're different variations. Voodoo's the exact same. There's voodoo, there's hoodoo, there's specific types of voodoo for smaller tribes. So I think, James, you wanted to talk a little bit more about some of those differences more specifically.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give, a brief reminder that voodoo and hoodoo are not the exact same. Because when I was in university, I did a whole
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did a whole essay on hoodoo, not voodoo, And I thought it was really interesting, and I didn't bring any of that to talk about today because this episode would be 4 hours long, but...
You're not going to read us your entire essay?
No, it's about 10 pages, so I'm
Crazy.
not really,
You guys don't want
11, actually.
You
Don't
guys
wanna
didn't
brag,
want to...
but-
Crazy. We'll put it on the Patreon.
Yeah, pretty much. But I just wanted to, like, clarify the difference between the two. So, voodoo is, as Caitlin said, more like... I'm not gonna... Cathocentric is not the word I'm looking for.
Like...
More Catholic. More
monotheistic and, like,
ooh,
specific.
yeah. And it's also... Voodoo is more like Creole.
Yes.
And hoodoo is an assimilated thing, and it's more just straight up American. Voodoo was brought to the Americas, like Caitlin said, like from Haiti, where it was evolved and then mixed with other religions. And hoodoo, though, is primarily among just African American communities in the South of the U.S., and its roots stem from, like, West African folk traditions, European folklore, and magical practices, Native American practices. But the main difference is that, like, to put it simply, hoodoo is, like, folk magic. Voodoo is a religion.
Mm-hmm.
Voodoo involves healing and, like, as I think we're going to mention, probably, like, juju and, like, that kind of stuff, while hoodoo is more, like, magic and spells, and it's not a religion.
Yeah, it's like the hands-on practice that takes a lot of religious practices from voodoo, but it's a deviation from it.
Yeah. I also didn't know that they were integrated with the Catholic saints, like the early voodoo rituals, so that they wouldn't go recognized by slave owners.
So, yeah.
Number one, that's so smart of them, and number two, that's so sad.
Well, so yeah, that was actually something that I was going to mention, because that was one of my favorite things to learn when we were at the Voodoo Museum in New Orleans, was they had these altars set up with, you know, the prayer candles that you can get with the different saints on them. And yeah, each spirit that they were trying to appease, trying to pray to, has its own Catholic saint counterpart, essentially. Partially to conceal the practice of voodoo, partially because that was what was accessible. There's Catholics everywhere. You're always going to have prayer candles to find. So knowing sort of the virtues that saint embodies could allow these slaves to connect it to the spirits in their own religion of voodoo that embodied the same characteristics and the same practices, and it just kind of made it more interchangeable for them, which was a really interesting way. And there's a couple of loas that we're going to talk about, or spirits that we're going to talk about, that there's plenty that we're going to talk about, but there's a few specifically that was really interesting to me that came from a lot of Celtic folklore. Because we also have to realize that slaves didn't just come from Africa. There was also the poorer European places, like Ireland. Unfortunately, Ireland seems to get the shit end of the stick quite a lot. Thanks, England. But there were also Irish servants that were coming over to New Orleans to serve. Don't discredit the fact that the slaves were for very different purposes, and it was more servantry than slavery. There was less abuse, but still unwarranted and unwanted work being forced upon these people. And the servants and the slaves would often share their own religions, their own beliefs. So a lot of these Celtic people were sharing the stories of their gods and goddesses. And look at the goddess Bridget. She's super prominent in voodoo. But we'll talk about that. But no, it's just interesting to see how voodoo is really an all-encompassing religion. from what I've seen, it seems to be the most like welcoming religion because there's something for everybody. And it focuses on the spirit and the soul, regardless of where you come from, what you look like, what you do, there's something there for you. Another significant distinction that I want to make before we really get into discussing the more important figures in the voodoo world is I want to talk about the difference between a Loa and a god. So Jamie and I were actually just talking about this. So a Loa, often spelled L-O-A or L-W-A, depending on what sources you're looking at, are the spirits associated with voodoo. They're not typically thought of as gods, but rather as powerful spirits that sit somewhere between humans and Bondi, who is the single higher god. So I think that's what a lot of people forget, is that voodoo is monotheistic. If you follow voodoo, you believe there is one god, Bondi. So in Haitian voodoo theology, the word Bondi is derived from the French bon Dieu, which means good God. So there's this one all-powerful overseer. And then, as in Catholicism, if we look at, there's one God and there's the patron saints. It's essentially the same thing. That's why they have corresponding saints. There's the bon Dieu, and then there is the Loas. And you guys can't see me, but I am aggressively talking with my hands, I just realized.
And we're just making this clarification because the wording can get tricky, because some of these are like, oh, this is the god of fire or the goddess of the ocean, and it's like, but not.
No, they are all Loas. They are all spirits. No, not a single one of them is higher than the bon Dieu, but they are higher than we would be as humans.
Like God and then Archangel.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah. That's the only
names.
one I know.
I was gonna say either that or Zeus and like Hermes, but
I mean that's another
that works.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I was explaining it this way to my boyfriend actually, because this poor guy has to listen to me talk about our topics all the time. It's the distinction between like the Loas and the patron saints is very similar to the way that if you look at Greek and Roman theology, you have the same god or goddess, just with a different name. It's essentially the same practice. Like, they have their own specific...
Aries, Mars.
Exactly. They have the same values, the same specific things that they oversee. There's just small variations in terms of the culture. It's the same thing between voodoo and Catholicism. For voodooists, Bondi is seen as the ultimate source of power, deemed responsible for maintaining universal order. The Loas are more there to watch over humanity and take care of specific aspects, if that makes sense. So yeah, like Jamie said, the wording can get really tricky, so I wanted to just make that very known, that if we do refer to anyone as the god of anything, it's just more of a colloquialism than anything. They're not looked at as a genuine god. They're like the overseer of X, Y, or Z.
So, yeah, I really only have, like, a little blurb about all of them, so feel free to jump in at any point, Kate.
Fantastic.
But, yeah, the main guy, Bondi, spelled Bondye. Bondi is the creator god, according to voodoo religion. And, yeah, he's the one that the Loas answer to, which, slay.
Good for him.
I think Caitlin already said this, the Loas serve as, like, the intermediaries between the Bondi and humans. So it's said that this creator god's existence is, like, beyond human comprehension, like, we will never be close to him.
No.
And essentially he's unknowable to humans, and he does not mess around or meddle in mortal affairs. So that's why spiritual work is done with the Loas instead. So if anyone is claiming, oh, yes, like, I'm in communication with Bondi and, like...
No, you are not.
Yeah, he has a message. Yeah, they're scamming you. Yeah. Do not believe them.
But I think... The concept of this is interesting because, like, I'm not a religious person, but I am quite spiritual. I think that's a good way of putting it.
That is very
I used to be fervently atheist, thanks Catholic school.
Yeah.
But I think I've come to accept spirituality a lot more in my adult life.
You definitely, yeah.
And I think a religion like this and a concept like this, where there is one creator, I think somebody has to do something. Like, we've got to come from somewhere. But the concept of that creator being so far away from everything and sort of leaving it to others makes more sense to me than...
It really does.
Than this, like, one guy with a beard in the sky.
He does not have time for everybody.
He does not have time. There's no possible way that he can handle the wars and the famine and everything in the world, and also the fact that you chipped a nail and it made your day really bad. But at the same time, the thought of the war and the famine, like that being something that this supposedly omnipotent, omniscient creature, or person, I guess, is allowing to happen. Like, if you're all-knowing, all-seeing, all-good, why are all these terrible things happening? Whereas in a situation like this, where there is such a vast disconnect, it almost takes away that responsibility from that creator, and really shows that it is up to us, and it is up to free will and our own free volition, whether the good or the evil is going to prosper. But that there is something more that we can speak to guide us, rather than it being completely all laid out for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that this speaks to me and, like, my perspective on how the spiritual realm and, like, that sort of stuff connects. So I find this stuff very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else agrees, but just in case you guys were wondering.
Everybody's snoozing right now.
Everyone's like, shut up, Caitlin, stop. Which, fair.
I also wanted to point out, in some pieces of literature I found, voodoo spirits or Loa are also known as Congo spirits.
Yes.
So, fun fact of the day for you. Moving on swiftly, do you have anything else to say about Bondi?
I do not.
Cool. Saints. So these are the Loas. These are the slightly lower but still powerful. Do not mess with them.
Would you say that they're Loa on the scale?
No. God.
Oh, God.
Okay, that was a good one.
I'm so funny. God. Sorry, go ahead. Tell us about the Loas, Jamie.
Thanks. Well, one of the ones I wanted to talk about, also, Kate, or people listening, I almost said customers, I know I'm pronouncing them wrong. You can interrupt me.
You guys have listened long enough to know that
Yeah.
she can't read normal words, let alone words that are Creole.
So, I want to talk about Oya.
Spell it?
Is that right? Oya?
I would assume.
I'll take it. So, Oya is a warrior goddess. We actually saw a statue and, like,
Is that one of the ones that had the little on the wall?
Yeah, it was one of the people... Shit. It was one of the spirits that we saw that had, like, offerings in front of it at the museum, at the Voodoo Museum.
Yes.
So I thought it would be cool to include her. She is a warrior goddess. She is a Orisha, which is a divine spirit of violent storms, and she's also a protector from them. So she can either screw you over or protect you from getting screwed over.
See, and again, we go back to the free will, essentially, dictating your fate. Whether the good or the bad prospers, something's going to happen. She'll do something for you. But if you're going to be a dickhead, you're going to pay with a storm.
Sucks. Yep. Sucks to suck.
We could have used her here the other day. We had a major hailstorm in Calgary, and it, like, destroyed a bunch of stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's August.
Oh, they happen year-round.
Great. Oh yeah, why'd you do that?
Yeah. But thank you for
But,
saving my car.
Yeah. She is also associated with monetary gain in the marketplace, as well as healing and necromantic divination.
Ooh.
Her colors are purple and burgundy, gorgeous. And her saint association, like who she's like level with, is Saint Barbara. I don't know who that is.
Did not know that was a saint. I didn't know there were female saints. Is that ignorant of me
I
to say?
didn't know there was any saints besides Saint Nicholas.
I didn't think Catholics acknowledged women. Sorry.
No comment.
Oops.
But yeah, so go women. Go Oya, the warrior goddess of storms.
What a sick title that would be.
Mm-hmm.
The warrior goddess of
She's like
storms.
Athena.
Exactly. Athena or Artemis?
Like, they're both awesome.
I agree.
I know it's not scary, but I would love to talk about Greek mythology at some point on here.
God. We could never. You know that.
It would be like a 20-part series, maybe.
We could.
That's cutting it
We're
down.
gonna have to start a whole other podcast to talk about Greek mythology. Which
Don't tempt
I'm not
me.
opposed to.
Yeah, don't tempt me. I want to talk about this guy.
Please do.
I
love that
he's
guy.
one. I don't know how to pronounce his name either. Chango. Chango. Chango.
Probably Chango. Not Chungo. It's not Chungo. I promise you that.
Chango? I think it's Chango. He is the god of fire. But again, like, he's a low, so not really a god.
Yes.
But
He is
god of fire.
the spirit associated with the power of fire.
Yeah. And lightning and thunder and war.
Jamie's favorite things.
Well, everything except war. She's like make the connections. The god of war, the god of thunder. You can see all the lines are connecting. He represents male beauty and I don't know how to say it. Virility, which I don't know what that means.
Like male fertility, like male strength
Ooh.
and like health and.
Good for him. His saint association is Santa Barbara.
Saint Barbara.
So also Saint Barbara. And his days of the week, apparently, I guess, to be like worshipped, if that's the right word, is Friday.
Nice.
And his
Good.
colors are red and white. Yeah, you made a good choice, brother.
Good call. Friday's a good day.
Yeah. This next one, Obatala,
Spell it.
I think. Obatala.
Obatala. Yeah.
Obatala.
My
God,
favorite.
you say it.
My favorite
you
thing
say it
about
with such
Jamie.
ease.
My favorite thing about Jamie is that when she tries to read complicated words, she just cuts out the part of the word that her brain doesn't want to deal with. That's how she ended up with Obatla. She was like, no, I'm just not gonna. It's not gonna do it.
Obatala, who is a sky creator of the humans and has no permanent gender.
Oh, that's another thing about a lot of these Loas is that they are very gender fluid.
I love it. Obatala
Obatala.
has a spouse, Yema. Yemiya.
Yamaya.
Yemaya. Don't ever let me speak ever
I
again.
won't. I'm gonna talk about her later.
Yeah, that's
Obatala.
Obatala's spouse, which slay. And Obatala is considered the most compassionate god. Their color is white for purity and is also associated with the Black Christ. Cool.
Sick.
So, while we're here then, let's talk about
Yamaya.
Yemaya, the goddess of the sea, protector of the home, mother of Ocean, Chango, and Oya, and protector of mother and children, and she controls the tides. Let's talk about another one of the Orishas. Ocean.
Okay. And you said Ocean was one of Yamaya's children, too?
Yes.
Okay.
It is spelled Oshun, so I'm assuming it's pronounced like...
That one you got.
Yes. So Ocean is a goddess connected to rivers, streams, and water.
Interesting that her name is
She's just-
Ocean, and she's connected to...
She's just like her mother, loves the water.
You're just like your mother.
Your mother. She's associated with beauty and sexuality, as well as love and pleasure.
Ooh. My kind of lady.
Often found in belief systems of Yoruba and Ifa.
I think so.
She is worshipped by her followers who leave offerings at riverbanks.
Ah.
She is tied to wealth, and those who petition her for assistance can find themselves hopefully blessed with bounty and abundance. Her colors include orange, golden, and yellow, as well as green and coral.
Nice.
Offerings to her can and should include cinnamon, honey, pumpkins. All need to be fresh, by the way.
Well, of course. Don't be ridiculous.
And many followers will also keep an altar to Ocean in their bedrooms. Another one we got, Ogun.
Okay.
Ogun. It has two different spellings that I could see, Ogun and then Oggun. So
Ogun, I would think.
Make of that what you will. But
Sounds like a
Ogun
Norse name.
is... That's what I thought too. And he's the god of steel and iron. He is invoked to assist in battles or, more modernly, court cases. His saint association is St. George and St. James. His days of the week are Friday, Saturday, and Monday. His color to represent him is red. He is from the Yoruba belief system as well, and he is most associated with blacksmiths, warriors, the wheels of justice.
Ooh.
It's said that if you make a sacrifice of meat to Ogun, you'll be blessed with a successful hunt.
Any specific meat?
I'm assuming fresh.
I meant, like, type of meat. But
Doesn't say here. There might be.
is he, like, a beef kind of guy? Goat? Chicken?
Alligator, maybe?
Does Beyond Meat count?
Practitioners of Haitian voodoo call upon Ogun for any matters related to conflict or war. I didn't read far enough ahead. They also make offerings of roosters and dogs. Specifically, male animals seem to be his favorite.
Why?
So as long as it's a bro,
Why is it a dog, though?
it's a male dog.
You glossed over the sacrifice of a dog.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
He is symbolized by an iron knife or machete and has a fondness for pretty women and good rum.
And-
He's a pirate.
Fuck. Oh, man.
What?
I was
Sounds like a pretty cool guy, I guess.
I was
don't know.
so on his side until he wanted a dead dog.
Well, somebody's gotta make a sacrifice, man.
Why does it have to be the dog?
I don't know.
Do it to the rooster.
Whoa. Well, they do both.
No, roosters are mean.
You're just scared of them.
Yeah, 'cause they're mean. They're dickheads.
The next one I'm gonna talk about is
Jamie.exe
Elegua.
stopped working.
Eligua.
Elegua? Just
Eligula?
just think about it for two. You're rushing it. Just think
Well,
about
it's
the pronunciation.
Elegua.
Elegua.
Elegua. Cool. Elegua is a messenger of the gods. Not from me, clearly. He's said to be the keeper of the gate, first to be honored at ceremonies and closing all doors and gates using trickery. Sneaky little guy.
He is a sneaky little guy.
The saint association is Saint Anthony, and his colors are red and black, and apparently his number association is the number 3.
Nice. See, what's interesting to me is, like, because the Loas have such specific jobs, sometimes they tend to, like, work in pairs or work in groups.
Mm-hmm.
And the Legua is kind of one of them. Like, you see Papa Legba, you see Elegua, you see Baron Sumdi, you see Mama Bridget, all sort of working in the, I guess, the underworld, it would be, side of things, that, like, the transition from life to the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
And they have so many specific roles. Like, yeah, Elegua is the messenger. Baron Sumdi is the guider. Papa Legba is at the crossroads. Like, there's so many specific parts of it. And I think it's cool to see that even in this, like, spirit world, teamwork kind of makes the dream work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was my 2 cents.
2 cent, 3 cent, 4.
Sure.
The next one I want to mention.
It's very dramatic.
Because I don't want to mispronounce it. He is very important in New Orleans voodoo. Damballa. Do you know how to say it?
Spell it.
Dambballah.
Damballa.
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 Nice.
However you want to
Damballa. That sounds more right.
Yeah, however you want to put the accent on it.
He is apparently one of the most important Loa. He is a creator. He's also a serpent, like, spirit, which is cool. He helped Bondi make the cosmos. And supposedly his coils shaped the heavens and earth. He is the keeper of knowledge, wisdom, and healing magic, which I just think sounds beautiful.
He's kind of like Bondi's, like, right-hand man.
Yeah. He is associated with St. Patrick,
Lucky.
who is said to have driven snakes out of Ireland. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Irizul is his consort. She's the one who likes pink.
Oh!
We'll talk about her next.
She's...
Damballa.
I like her.
Me too. Moves between land and sea, and is apparently a never-ending force that represents, the circle of life. He also has a female counterpart named Aida Wedo, who forms the rainbow, which is
beautiful. Pretty. Interesting that the rainbow and St. Patrick. Leprechauns, confirmed.
Well, yeah, apparently by shedding his serpent skin, he created the waters on Earth.
Yep.
And one of the gifts that him and his spirit counterpart, the rainbow serpent, they gave us the ability to have love and freedom and emotional pain. So, Caitlin.
The love and freedom part I like. The emotional pain, not so much.
Well, it's like symbolic, so that you can shed your skin and reemerge stronger.
I know, it's all part of the experience of humanity. Stupid.
It is.
I hate it.
Okay.
Let's talk about Our Lady.
Our pink lady.
Our pink lady. When we were at the Voodoo Museum, Jamie and I both saw her altar at the same time, and we were like, it's her.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Erzuli. Erzuli.
Erzuli, yeah.
Erzuli? Cool. She is a Loa of love and women. Yes!
Yes!
She is usually seen as very feminine. Her colors are pink and white, and she sort of came into focus during a time when slave owners were splitting up families, breaking up households, separating husbands and wives, and sexually assaulting the female slaves, that kind of stuff. And so she's there as like
A protectress.
a protector, yeah. She manifests a lot of passion, and her moods go from being really joyful to very depressed.
Me.
Yeah, I understand. She can go from seductress to a devastating presence.
Also me.
She's associated with Mary, the Virgin Mary, and so she was like connected to the Virgin Mary so that she could be prayed to, while the slave owners thought they were praying to Mary, they were praying to her. And offerings for her could be perfume, champagne, flowers, jewelry, money, give it to me, and lacy items, which I thought that was cool too.
All things I will also accept as offerings, in case anyone is wondering.
If anyone's looking.
No, I like that she... This is what I was kind of alluding to earlier. I like the kind of moldability of the religion and how things can come up when necessary. Like, I love that she was created at a time where they needed a protectress. They needed someone to remind them that family was still family, regardless of them being separated, that power, just because these terrible slave owners had physically separated them, they couldn't emotionally do it.
Yeah.
And they needed that sort of protecting force to remind them that they could keep going and they could make it through truly the worst of the worst. So I think it's very admirable that this is a religion that allowed them to find what they needed and really latch on to the power within themselves through being able to pray to this Loa. So I like that a lot.
I promise there's only 3 more that I have written down. There's probably more than that. This was a very big one when we took a ghost tour on our trip.
Oh, we sure did.
And we learned about Baron Samedi. Samedi. This is the Loa of the dead. And apparently him and Papa Legba get mixed up quite a bit in movies and TV shows.
Yeah, so if we think about, what's the show that Jamie and I talk about all the time? Think about American Horror Story. The portrayal of Papa Legba, who is also a very significant aspect of voodoo culture, was not at all how Papa Legba is often depicted. It was how Baron Samedi is depicted. So
the only thing they got right is that Papa Legba is associated with the crossroads. Exactly. But everything else was...
like I was saying before, it's like Elegua, Papa Legba, Baron Samedi all work very closely together. So it's understandable how, with not as much research, or maybe with a little bit of movie magic and creative interpretation, it would be confused. But Baron Samedi has the top hat, the black tailcoat, the dark glasses, the cotton plugs in his nostrils that resemble a corpse that's dressed and prepped for burial in like a Haitian burial style. Not Papa Legba.
Baron Samedi.
Samedi.
Are we not saying the same thing?
No, you're saying Samedi. Samedi.
Samedi. Cool. We'll put his picture on Instagram. He is the guardian of the ancestors. He is a spirit that's called upon for most problems in regular life. He's a leader of the Gede.
The Gede.
Gede. Gede. One of these days. I'll get it.
Maybe.
He's also known as the Divine Trickster,
Yes.
or the Baron LaCroix. I got it. And another one that I cannot pronounce, I'm assuming it's something of the cemetery, Maitre de Cimetière. He is associated with the Catholic Saint Expedite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm proud. He can appear as a skeleton, smoking a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad for you.
He's already dead. It's okay.
I guess you're allowed to.
He doesn't have lungs.
Yeah, his female counterpart and his wife is the Matress Bridget.
That's the one that I was talking about, the Celtic one.
Yeah, we'll talk about her after this. Perfect. He's associated with the zombies, which we've talked about before.
And we will talk about again.
Witch doctors. Both of them together represent the powers of death, fertility, and can cure illnesses. They govern the cemetery, as well as gates of cemeteries, crossroads, hence the Papa Legbook miscommunication, American Horror Story. Apparently they're known for being sexually aggressive and vulgar. In New Orleans, they're associated with the yellow fever epidemics, as well as the mortuary chapel, Mardi Gras, the Gris women, skull and bone gangs, New Orleans jazz funerals. Apparently they're very popular in zombie movies and voodoo movies as well. They are related to Halloween, All Saints Day, All Souls Day, etc.
I think if it helps some people visualize Baron Samedi, if I think of a weirdly good representation, it's the villain in Princess and the Frog.
That is a very good one. Who is the villain there?
Dr. Facilier?
Oh. I was going to say, did they base that off of him?
I think they probably took some of it, because he's a witch doctor with the top hat, with the tailcoat, that's a trickster.
Yeah. So,
just picture that, but a skeleton.
Apparently he has, like, a nasally voice.
I was just going to say that, yeah,
Yeah. And apparently he chases after mortal women.
Even though he's married.
You're married. Yeah.
He's also notorious for outrageous behavior and swears continuously, and apparently loves making filthy jokes to and about other spirits, which I love.
Cheeky guy.
He can usually be found between the worlds of death and living. And his job basically is, like, when someone dies, he digs their grave and then greets their soul after burial. And then it's there that he meets them and leads them to the underworld.
And apparently he's involved with Saint Martin.
Oh, okay.
Or Saint Martin de Porres.
Sure.
I
think you're making saints
I don't know
up.
my saints. I don't know my saints.
I thought there were like 4 of them.
I don't know my fruit. But do you have anything else to say about Baron?
No, I want to talk about Mama Bridget.
Yes, let's talk about Mama Bridget.
Can I talk about her?
Please do.
Yeah,
you look excited.
I love her. So, like I said before, she's associated with the Celtic goddess Bridget, who in Celtic folklore is the goddess of spring, fertility, and life. In a similar nature, Mama Bridget is known for her connection to femininity, healing, and protection. Because of Celtic influence, so like I said, the servants from mainly Ireland coming over and intermingling with the slaves that were brought over from Africa, they started chatting and intermingled everything. So Mama Bridget is often depicted as a white woman with red hair. And she is one of the only Loas that is often depicted as a white person. Additionally, like her Celtic counterpart, Mama Bridget is a very powerful healer. If she can't heal or cure someone, she helps her followers travel towards the afterlife. So if she can't take away your illness, if she can't take away your pain, she'll at least be a guide to you, to Baron Samedi, who will then guide you to the underworld. She's a protectress and will watch over women who ask for her assistance, particularly in cases of domestic violence, unfaithful lovers, or childbirth. So if you want protection during really tough times, unfortunate parts of the female experience, you can ask for Mama Bridget to watch over and protect you, and she will do her darndest. And I also think it's ironic that she looks after women who ask for help in cases of unfaithful lovers, and Baron Samedi, despite being married to her, chases after mortal women.
The last one I want to talk about. You know him. You've heard him. You've seen him in American Horror Story. We just talked about him. Papa Legba.
Jamie saved her favorite for last. You should have seen...
Besides, I just love the way his name sounds when it comes out my mouth. Legba.
I wish you guys could have seen when we were on that ghost tour. Our tour guide was like, oh, let's talk about Papa Legba. And Jamie went, ooh, okay. And, like, sat up. It was...
Love him.
It was great.
He is the Loa associated with the Crossroads. He also serves he also serves as an intermediary between man and spirit world. Mm-hmm. Papa Legba has been involved in numerous ways from his origins from Africa. In some places, he's seen as a fertility god and is portrayed with a large, erect phallus.
Good for him.
You can just tell in his aura, but
no, 100%. Papa Legba is the biggest big dick energy I've ever heard.
In other customs, he's considered to be a trickster, which he totally is.
Sneaky little guy.
And in other stories, he is the protector of children. So he's got a lot of different forms in New Orleans voodoo and Haitian voodoo. Mm-hmm. He's associated with the colors red and black. He is usually portrayed not with the top hat and skeleton. He's usually portrayed as an older gentleman in a straw hat. Yes, he's got tattered clothes, and he's accompanied by a dog.
Hell yeah. Because everybody needs a little buddy.
And those are my Loas and gods and creators and deities and spirits that I wanted to chat about. Do you have any more?
I have 2 more, if you would like to hear about them.
Give them to me.
Beautiful.
I don't even know if I've heard of them before, so I'll take it.
So, the first one I want to talk about, sort of a more, I should say a less significant part of New Orleans voodoo, but a more significant part of a different area, which I thought would be interesting to talk about a little bit. And he's also, like, a little trickster, so I thought it would be kind of fun. His name is Ishu. Or Eshu.
Oh, I've never heard of Ishu.
So it's typically spelled E-X-U or E-S-H-U.
Oh, wait, that does sound familiar.
So he is one of the most popular spirits in Brazil, wherein voodoo is known as macumba or candomblé, I think.
Okay.
He is said to be the South and Central American version of the devil. However, this is a major misrepresentation from Western cultures as a result of a Yoruban mistranslation from missionaries. Shocker. They didn't... in a very similar way, a fun fact that we learned about vampires in New Orleans. A big reason that people think New Orleans is filled with vampires, particularly in the monastery, is because of a mistranslation from missionaries. Talking about the Fille de Casquette. It wasn't the girls of the casket that were carrying caskets full of vampires up to these. They were carrying suitcases. Casquette is a suitcase.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a side note that I thought was fun.
But there are vampires in New Orleans.
There are. We saw them.
Definitely.
We went to the cafe. We know. But
ask us about it.
But there was a Yoruban explanation for Ishu or Eshu. Okay, so yes, there was a mistranslation because the missionaries either weren't paying attention, didn't care enough, didn't speak the language enough, and they just picked up on evil. Not evil, though. Just a trickster. Definitely can have his misfortunes, but as with any trickster, if you treat him properly, there's positive things that come. He's considered a trickster who spreads misfortune to all who dare not to acknowledge his vast power. So the thing is, he's represented as a child who brings confusion into someone's life if not treated with the same respect that is due to adults. So the idea was, in these Brazilian cultures, that you had to treat all children with equal respect to the adult counterparts in the tribes, because you never knew when one of them was going to be a trickster. And if you disrespected a child, if you took advantage of a child, if you did anything to put a child in harm's way that you would not do to an adult, then you could end up much worse off. However, when he's happy, he can bring great fortune into one's life. And much like myself, he prefers offerings of cigars, rum, and money.
Nice.
But I like the idea behind this one, that it maintains the accountability for the adults to not take advantage of the children around them, and not forget that children are people too. They're just smaller people. They're just people who are learning how to be people.
It's true.
And I think that's a concept that I, as a teacher, really appreciate.
Yeah.
Because you don't really get to see like the power that comes from children until you're around them every day. And I think something like this is really interesting. So, not the devil, even though sometimes he is depicted as a little boy with horns. But not...
Well, that's just little boys in general.
100%. And then the last Loa that I want to talk about, I thought he was interesting. His name is Bosu.
I don't know that one.
So the Loa Bosu is believed to be the spirit of the deceased Dahomean king Tegbesu.
Oh.
And I went on a whole deep dive of like King Tegbesu and his reign and like his family's reign. They were a very controversial family to be in power. But I won't get into that, I promise. But if you're interested, it's definitely something that's very cool to look at. But he's considered to be a very powerful, mighty, and aggressive Loa, which is not something that we always see. And his aggression kind of ties into the history of his living dynasty and his ancestors. They were quite an aggressive group. His appearance is that of a man with 3 horns. And each of these horns has a meaning. There's a horn for strength, a horn for wildness, and a horn for violence. When he's present, he appears as breaking the chains which he was restrained with. He acts like a bull, and he often goes crashing into things in the vicinity, including walls, people, and altars. He sometimes eats grass, moves like a cow, and drinks rum or bull's blood interchangeably.
Cool.
But he also protects his followers when they travel at night and acts as a healer. He has a female counterpart who is represented as a bovine, and they have a son. And when the 3 of them appear together, the healing powers are supposed to be very powerful when they work as a family, as a group. But overall, he's considered to be very powerful, but very aggressive. So he is one of those deities that requires a lot of respect in order to get something good out of it. He's a hard nut to crack, I guess you can say.
Okay.
A hard bull to tame.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the breakdown on Loas. And
yeah, we didn't even get to our other stuff.
No, and with that, I think this is where we pause for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we said at the beginning of the show, we have a lot to say. We have a lot of exciting information that we've looked into when it comes to this, and we want to make sure at the end of the day too that we're not oversimplifying anything, because voodoo is not some commercialized cool thing. It is a religion at the end of the day. It's something that people still practice and have practiced for centuries. So we want to make sure we're doing some due justice and talking about some really cool aspects of it too. So in order to do that properly, we're going to split this episode up into 2 parts, which I think is our first 2-parter in a long time.
Look at us.
Well, if you would like to join in our conversation about the Loas, if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have Loas that interest you, because we did not cover them all. There was no way we could do that.
No.
But if you would like to join in the conversation, you can get in touch with us at our email, which is creepsandcoffee@gmail.com. You can send us a message over on our Instagram and our Twitter, where you can also see some depictions of the Loas that we've chatted about today. That's at Creeps and Coffee on both Instagram and Twitter, in case you missed it. And if you would like a further look at all of the stuff that we did in New Orleans, if you would like some insight on the behind-the-scenes workings of our show, get access to an exclusive bonus episode every month, and hear your name shouted out right here in every episode, you can check out our Patreon and help support the show at patreon.com/creepsandcoffee. Thank you for joining us on our fantastic adventures in New Orleans, the place where we learned it's only New Orleans if it rhymes in a song.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be back next time with the second part of our Voodoo special.
Woo! Love you, bye!
Love you, bye! Creeps and Coffee is produced and edited by us, Kate and Jane.
Our theme music is Stuck in a Hole by Dated.
For more information on where to find them, check out the link in our show notes. And to connect with us, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Creeps and Coffee.